Ha! You see this? Woo! Watch the footwork, baby. Yeah. Hey, ha! Don't stop me now. Officer Zed's got the move.
Woo! Yeah, Officer Zed on the beat. Check it. Watch this. Moonwalk, baby. Funk Patrol in effect. Check it. Woo! Yeah, running it back. Come on. Ha, that's the move. Freeze. Ha ha. Alright, watch this dude. Ha. Can't stop the beat, baby. Yeah. How do you like that? Ha! Freeze for the funk, baby. Woo! Disco Patrol in effect. Can you dig it? Ha ha! That's how the law gets down.
Fix my hair, adjust my hat. Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Michael. This is Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by Legit Podcast and Legit Tube. Legit Tube. It is the final week of the NFL football season. Most fans are sad to see it go. Giants fans, we're like, God damn, it finally came. Finally, it's over. And finally joining me, Mastradamus. What's up, Matt?
You know, I'm reflecting on what we were saying last week because you're talking about the Giants and me and Captain were we were going, they gotta win. Why are you so sad? Your team's gonna win today. I've never seen someone so disappointed. Gang,
Because and hold on a second. Joining us is Captain Picard. What's up, Sean?
What's up? How we doing?
Happy New Year, Captain.
Happy New Year.
I'm all right, but I'm going to just start this off really quick with something Matt that just touched on. If you're Joe Shane, how do you keep your job as GM when your team had the number one pick heading into the second to last weekend of the season, and you won a game both years in a row to knock yourself out of the one pick? Last year we beat the Colts, like week 15 or 16. This year we beat the Raiders, and both times lost ourselves the number one pick. Now, with the 2 quarterback draft, 1 and 2 doesn't matter. If you have 2, you still have a trading thing. But that's saying that the Giants are going to lose to the Cowboys, who the Cowboys have screwed the Giants over at least 4 or 5 times in the last 10 years. And I know this, when they let the Eagles win, all this other shit, right? But the only thing I got going for me is that maybe the Cowboys just want to beat the Giants because they don't like them. And secondly, if there was a team that would drop a game, it's the Kansas City Chiefs and their coach, Andy Reid. They do not want the Raiders, the divisional team, to get that one pick. If they can drop that game with their third-string quarterback, you watch how it's coached today. If he gets a chance to make sure the Raiders win, to screw over that organization, Andy is that petty. That's of my belief. And I'm being serious. He's a very petty person. He would do that because he would screw the Raiders over totally. And you know what? Why can't the Raiders beat the Chiefs today? The Chiefs are horrible right now. You know what I mean? The Raiders are horrible too, but this is the NFL where there's the real and then there's the behind-the-scenes reel that you need to know about before you go picking these games. Matt, would you agree at all?
Well, I agree 100% with what you said, but not with the game that you focused on. Not with the Andy Reid, the Chiefs, and the Raiders. I just feel like Andy Reid hates the Raiders so much. I mean, he's one of these old school cats. Like, they hate the color of the team. There was a time when I forget who the player was. I think it was one of the Long brothers, was walking into the locker room, and Andy Reid goes, "Hey, man, get rid of those cleats." He's like, what's wrong with my cleats? He's like, "They're black. They're playing the Raiders this week. Get them off." And that was so many moons ago. But it tells you that these teams, there is backdoor deals, but then there's some teams that just won't call each other.
Well, The one I speak of, again, and I've spoken of this 100 times, but if you can't tell me I'm wrong, was when the Giants had a win and have the Cowboys beat the Eagles and the Giants were in the playoffs. Cowboys
Yeah.
lost that game conveniently, but they put out. I mean, the Eagles lost that game. It was absolutely around. They put out Nate Sudfeld in the gloves, and then the next year, in the following year in the draft, the Cowboys traded with the Eagles so that the Eagles can get one spot in front of the Giants and take Devonta Smith, who the Giants are planning on taking. So the Giants and Eagles, they're like, scratch one ass, I'll scratch your ass the next game. Or back. It
Which is
doesn't matter. We
crazy.
want to be scratched. Doesn't matter. We want to be scratched, to be honest. All right, Sean, let me start off with this before the games. I see a lot of big spreads, and I tell you what, I'm afraid that I'm going to be on the opposite end of a lot of you guys because I feel like last week of the season, if there isn't something serious on the line, you don't play as hard as you should. You don't have to. You ease up maybe in the third or fourth. I'm worried about that today. So,
Hold up real quick, right?
Oh.
This is if we want to go that route, if we take eyes on last week, the teams that needed to win against non-playoff teams went 1-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stink. But I'm just saying, Sean, what's your thoughts? Quick.
This week is a surprise week. You never know what's going to happen in the final week, but that's why you have to trust in us. Trust in the experts. Trust in the men that know the best.
Isn't it not weird that there's 6 1:00 games and like 7 or 8 4:00 games? Like, what happened? Why do we go so late?
They did that, King. And they did a lot of maneuvering. So these teams, like the Jaguars, watching Indy's game, and they don't sit, they don't relax. Like, there's a lot of games that really matter, and they'll be doing some scoreboard watching, but they tried to put the games on to where they would force these teams to play. And I think that's what you do when you add another week in the NFL. Now you're going to have players sitting. Now you're going to have teams not playing. They want to make their money.
All right, well, let's rock off the spreads as they are now, because I'll tell you what, they have been changing rapidly.
Yes, they have.
Drastically.
So people need to know that.
Magically.
The numbers I'm speaking of, the numbers I have right now. All right. So, Sean, let's start off with this one. The game that we've all seen, again, maybe 100 million times. Green Bay travels to Minnesota. It's the Packers versus the Vikings. Man, I've never seen that game before. The Vikings are favored by 12.5 at home. Who do you like in that game?
I haven't seen the start sit yet. I apologize for that to you, the viewer. But I love a big spread. What a spread. And I'm going to have to go and surprise you all and go Minnesota.
All right, Minnesota. Matt?
I'm on board with you, Captain. I just feel like this is a tall tale sign that Vegas is letting you know Green Bay is resting off this week. And they're going, please don't just jump on Minnesota. They're trying to scare you away with this huge spread, but Minnesota is really going to do that. And they'll probably beat them 21-0. Something silly like that. I'm with the Vikings.
So I prefaced it earlier in my opening monologue. I'm taking the Packers plus 12.5. Like, I don't care. The Packers are 9-6-1. Where do they sit as far as wild card?
Earthquake.
That's what I want to know. Where? What?
What?
NFC. So we're talking about who? All right. So the Packers are the 7th team right now.
Yes.
Right. And the Vikings are eliminated at 8. They're out. So only the Panthers and the Bucs are in the hunt. So the Packers have to win this game. Right?
Yeah, but they're not playing their starting quarterback, I don't believe.
So they clinched but they clinched the playoff spot.
Yes.
So now they're 9-6-1. So they're going to be guaranteed the 7, which is what going to play the which one sits in this? They don't sit. So 7 plays 2.
Yep.
So the Packers are settling in to play the Eagles.
Correct.
All right. Look. So here's what the Giants did the year we won the Super Bowl against the Patriots. We didn't sit anybody. We didn't rest anybody because what we figured was we wanted momentum, and it's the truth. There's a little bit to be said about winning. You keep winning, it rolls. But maybe don't stop that quarterback. I don't like the spread. It's too much. That spread is so tempting that I'm like, no. This is like, when you're leaving like a cellos or something like that, and you look in that glass, and there's all those pies and cakes and desserts.
Yeah.
Right? In my head, I've always thought I could eat that whole thing right there. If they gave me that, I'd go in the back with a coffee or a glass of milk like a little kid, and I would.
King, you know when they beat you and they win you over is when they come out with the whole spread and show you it. They don't let you walk by. They don't give you the menu. They come out and they go, "You see this? Look at this spread."
They get me with the cheesecake. They go. They could just say we have cheesecake, but they don't. They're like, "Oh, we have cheesecake, blueberry, strawberry." Pineapple, plain. I'm like, oh my god! By like 2 or 3 in, I'm starting to make a decision. I'm starting to figure out which one do I like. And the minute you're going, which one do I like? You're going to order it. So we split on that, guys. That's too much. A lot of these spreads, I know it. It's just too much. Matt, I'll let you start with this one. Indy's going to Houston. Houston's favored by 10 at home. Who do you like?
This is the only. Coming into this weekend before the manipulation and the maneuvering of the lines, Houston was my favorite to put a lot of points on, to be one of my favorite bets. They're no longer, but I still like them a lot. I think Houston gets the job done. I think they cover the 10.5. I don't like Riley Leonard.
Down to 10.
It's down to 10. See, because I honestly think that half is probably big. Say Houston wins by 10, because you got to think like a lot of these teams are kind of looking into next week, have one foot in the door. As soon as they can, they're going to try and get their guys out of fire, get their subs in, get some rest. I'm not sure that Riley Leonard is the quarterback who's going to serve up the Houston Texans. But JT and the Colts and that defense and the Houston Texans offense can make the case. So I say tread lightly with the Texans, but I like the Texans. But I've got other ones in store.
I go next. I split it up right away because at 10.5, right, that I got it at, which is now down to 10, but it was only 10.5, an hour ago? Two great defenses, my book, right? Two great defenses. Teams that are looking to run the ball. I don't think they're looking to put up a ton of points, right? So if you tell me two great defenses, running the ball, and JT's in the game, 10.5 is too much. That's all. I'm not saying they win, but give me 10.5.
Hold on, King. And I do agree with you. I'm on board with you. I do think it's a good spread, and I think the rest of the players are. But we've seen this Houston Texans team just dominate the QB position. So are we going to say Riley Leonard is going to be that quarterback from Notre Dame? Not much playing time, not much experience. Had a little bit of experience a few weeks back. Going to be the team that comes up and.
Well, here's the thing. The Texans are locked in at 5, right?
No, this is for the division.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Texans are 11-5, right?
They have to win the division. They're going for the division.
And the Colts. Wait, no, the Colts are eliminated.
Yeah, but they're looking. They need the Jaguars to lose.
Yep.
And that's also why they're playing them at the same time.
The winner gets the 3, the loser gets the 5. Is what they're saying.
Yeah, big.
There's no 4 spot. So, yes, the Texans have to win. I don't know. I'm sorry. 10.5 is too much. Sean?
Yeah, I like Houston. I think Houston's in it to win it. I think Houston, that great defense. I think you can say Indy. I mean, down the stretch has lost a lot of their mojo, and I don't know. I think Houston needs to win to get that division. That's what they want. They're a dominant team. The only thing that gets me worried is once you're up, because I think they're going to go up big.
By
They
like
don't
10
really
or
have a controlled running game that can take away that clock. That's the only thing that worries me about this game. But I'm still sticking with Houston.
you give up a late score. You know what I mean? They're up by 14.
Yeah.
They're rolling, and then the Colts score a touchdown at the end, and then that was what I'm saying. My 10.5 is too much. Something like that.
Could happen.
Hold on. Let's see what I got next. Oh, by the way, out of the Giants head coaching search, the one guy that I gotta tell you that I'm in love with is Shula, the Rams defensive coordinator.
Oh yeah.
So here's the thing about Shula, right? Now, I'm listening to this like 20-year-old talk about it, right? Oh, it might be plus. No offense, there's a couple of female Giants podcasts, and I try to watch it, and I'm not being sexist when I say this, but didn't really know the game. Knew it as far as like how Madden is played on that level of points, but didn't understand the other stuff. But anyways, the kid was like, and Shula, of course, has some lineage. His uncle was the head coach of the so-and-so, and I'm going, his uncle? You're going to bring and not bring up the fact that his grandfather was Don Shula, the only coach that's ever coached a team undefeated in the 72 Super Bowl with the Dolphins. Brother Ray's favorite coach of all time. You're not going to say he's the grandson of Don Shula? You're going to go with his uncle?
Perhaps the greatest coach of all time.
So I would love a young Shula storming the sidelines of Giant Stadium. Oh, give me that. You know what I mean? Give me that.
By the way you say I would love a young Shula, I don't know what you mean by that. Because I would love a young Shula too.
I'll tell you what,
I think they shut down that island for the young Shulas.
No. See, I need a 35 plus Shula in age. 35. I would start it. I want to start a club called 35 and over, and have it be just for people 35 and over.
Yeah.
And it closes at 10.
Hey, there you go.
Sean, we open at 6.
Yeah.
Everyone tires out around 9.
We take snack breaks.
Yeah. Some people hang around and play video games.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we can agree on another game. We might not.
We haven't agreed on one.
Well, it's you two guys against me. That's the problem. And I knew that this morning looking at my picks. I'm like, oh boy. All right. So Cleveland goes to Cincinnati in one of the best rivalries of all time in any sports. Literally one of the greatest rivalries, because the Bengals were made purposely to go up the ass of the Browns.
Yes.
The Cincinnati Bengals organization was created to go up the ass of the Browns. They're like, no, we're going to be in Ohio. We're going to be the Bengals. First, they just wanted orange helmets like the Browns.
Yeah, we're taking your colors.
So they put Bengals on one side, if you remember, and nothing on the other for a long time. And then they went to the stripes. It's because what's his face, Brown, whatever his name is, left.
Paul Brown.
There you go, left and said, all right, screw you guys. I'm gonna make an exact replica of the team. Here we are today. Cincy's favored by 9 at home. Boy, and I like the Browns. I like the Browns plus 9. That's another spread. The 7.5 rule is in such effect for me today. I'm almost sticking it by it like gospel. I don't like this game. If anything, right? If Shador's playing, is he not?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
You want to pick one game that he balls out on? It's the last game of the season, right before the offseason. No joke. That's the kind of kid he is. This kind of family he comes from. If there's going to be a game he balls out on, right, and shows it, oh, my God, they go, oh, well, that was a great game. Maybe he can be a quarterback. That's what you're going to hear. Well, maybe maybe he balls out today for some unknown reason. I like the Browns. Sean.
Yeah, I mean, this one is kind of a push of the week, but because Cincinnati under Burrow for some reason always thinks that they're in it, and even when they're not. In Cleveland, on the other hand, the defense plays well. They know how to control clock. They're clack. So I'm gonna actually agree with you. I'm actually gonna take Cleveland in this one.
All right, Matt.
You know, I can't just. I'm not the biggest. I love it because King today he's all dogs. You know, that's my life. I'm the dog life, right? I love the dog. I took 2 favorites so far, and I'm not just going bucking the trend, but I look at it. I'm like, I can't keep taking favorites, and I actually like this situation to take the dog. Jador Sanders, I think he is a dog, and I actually there's a lot of time when I'm sitting there wondering why there's so much love for him, and I'm glad there's a lot of people waiting for him, anticipating him and hoping for him. I see that he's promising. He's not giving the game away. The only reason this spread is inflated is because of the injury to Judkins. You know, how can they get that yardage back? I think Sanders is still the guy that isn't going to freely give you the game. Is Sampson there? I don't know. I like the Browns. I like them defensively. I like every single Myles Garrett prop that you can get. He definitely gets a sack or 2, maybe 3 today. Breaks the sack record. Absolutely. Give me the Browns. Whoop, whoop.
Wow. That would make that our first official.
It's a lock, it's a lock, it's a lock! Shiny and strong, it clicks, it clacks, it keeps what you treasure snug in a sack. It's a lock, it's a lock, it's a lock!
Yay!
Hooray!
All right, I gotta type this in. All right, the next game, I am going to lead off. The Cowboys travel to the New York Football Giants. The Cowboys are favored by 3. Now, I want to know how the Giants can screw themselves out of this game, because here's what everyone keeps saying. All I hear is, even before I get into this game, all I hear about the Giants is, if the Giants lose, if the Raiders can somehow beat the Chiefs, the Giants get the number 1 pick. But I haven't heard anyone say, when the Giants beat the Cowboys, because the Cowboys let them, because they hate the Giants so much, and you can't tell Jackson Dart to slow down, and Abdul Carter is playing like he's like I said when Lawrence, because Carl Banks yelled at like Dexter Lawrence the week before, it didn't really work, then it started to, but when LT called out Abdul Carter, look, dude, as far as a pass rushing edge, there's one guy that if he calls you out, you have to listen to. I don't care what team you're on. I don't care what you think about the history. Lawrence Taylor changed the whole NFL. He left tackles every year should give Lawrence Taylor a portion of their money for how much they're worth now. And secondly, edge rushers, give me a break, guy. So Abdul Carter's been playing out of his mind. The Giants defense is starting to have that swarm. And the Giants are starting to show me that, like, if they can only fucking lose and get a decent pick to trade away, I sincerely believe that we have about 8 players on that team that are stars. And I'm serious, but they don't show it. So now, as the NFC East, I got to pick the Giants to win the fucking game because they're going to screw me over. I mean, they just, you know why? Because they can't. All right. See how they played all season? If they had a kicker who would kick all the way to the ball, we probably would have won like 3 or 4 of those games. But we had that guy kick what? He kicked all the way up until about 3 or 4 inches of the ball and stopped. we've had the other guy who just kept shanking it. Although now we get the left-footed kicker, which I'm happy of. But if we had this left-footed kicker all year, the Giants' record would be totally different.
Yeah.
Don't think because the Giants lost games. We all know this where they were winning all game long. So it's not like this was a team that every week came out and got blown out. No, they got out coached and beat at the end. So they're not a horrible team in that sense, even though they are a horrible team. So when they play the Cowboys, if the Cowgirls have any shot of giving the Giants the win, you think they care? Yes, they do, because they don't want the Giants to have anything good. So I gotta go with the goddamn Giants to win the game outright, and I hate it. Sean?
Yeah, I gotta disagree with you on this one.
Good. I appreciate. Actually, I'm glad you do.
I think the Giants are going for that number one pick, that number one spot, because the Cowboys are actually, a lot of them are playing for their actual positions on the team for next year, and Jerry Jones hates the Giants, so you're going to be looking at an actual, like, they're actually going to be trying. I know the Giants are trying to get themselves out of that number one pick. Dallas, on the other hand, a lot of them are going for their bonuses. A lot of them are playing for spots. Like you look at wide receiver 1, there can only be one. And yeah. So with that being said, I'm going Dallas.
You know that this pains me greatly to say this, but I couldn't agree more with King, and I don't think King could be more right. So this is the thing, baby. We don't know what tomorrow brings, never mind what next spring brings. So all of a sudden, say the Giants, right, have the number one pick, and then or 2 pick, and then they start looking at this quarterback who looks so good, and then all of a sudden he's their darling, and all of a sudden that's what Jackson Dot is looking at. And as a father, right, this is crazy. If someone comes around my son, and then another stupid kid comes around my son, I'm going to be like, wow, these 2 kids are really dumb. So I got to imagine that when they get around my kid, dumb shit's going to happen. That's what's happening in the Giants organization right now. You got I don't even know who's running the team, wanting to win. And then you got Jackson Dot. If I can keep next spring's quarterback as far away from me and my job, I'm going to do that. Of course they're going to win this game. And of course, Dallas is going to hand him the game because, like King said, they don't want nothing good. If they just listen to me, I said this 3 weeks ago when they had dropped back 13 times, it showed you the Giants were trying to win the game. The very next week, last week, we said the Giants were winning the game. Nothing's changed. This is the Giants winning the game. I don't know. I think Dallas hands it to them. But the thing is I was on the Giants at 4.5. Now I'm definitely on them at 3. It's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. It's a wrap.
There's a split there, but I just have that feeling in my stomach, like they're gonna screw us over one more way and do this. You know,
it's a wrap.
All right. 2 more 1 o'clock games. Sean, the Saints travel to Atlanta. Atlanta is favored by 4. First off, if Shuck gets offensive rookie of the year, I'm going to just blame the fact that Dart didn't play the games where Russell Wilson did. Because if you stretch his stats out over a 16-game season, no one's touching Dart. But I digress. Sean, Falcons favored by 4 against the Saints.
This actually is going to be a really good game because let's not forget, they're actually playing for the NFC South title, even though they're playing for other teams to win. So with that being said, it's all about who's playing better ball. And I'm going to surprise you guys here. I'm actually going to go New Orleans. Ooh.
Yeah, tell you what, I'm going to surprise you even more, my friend. I like New Orleans to win this game. I think New Orleans is playing better as a team. I think Bijan gets in the end zone like twice.
Yeah,
right? I think that happens. That's like a good one. I think twice on Bijan is a good one. But I think for some reason, them Saints, DEM, they win the game. So I'm with you. Matt?
I look at this spread and I think it's deceiving. I think it's overinflated because of the Rams' victory. We always remember what was last, and we look at Atlanta and they look good. I mean, they've looked good at times this year, but not complete, as a lot of teams are. But I am on New Orleans. I think that what Shuck has been doing. I mean, you guys know I've been on the Saints lately, and I'm on board with them still. I think that when I look at this game, that's the only thing that I can say. It's overinflation of the Rams' victory.
So you're going with the Saints.
Yes, sir.
That makes that an official. Hey, by the way, you guys remember Steve Dallas?
If the king, captain, and Mastradamus agree, well, it's a lock.
I don't know if you knew Steve Dallas would be working for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did we get that?
Just to get him to appear. He's a big fan, is what I heard. Was supposedly a big fan of Steve Dallas. But was always a fan of his, so just showing some love. Let's see. Next game, Matt. Tennessee travels. You know what, Matt? Let me go first on this one. Tennessee travels to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's favored by 13.5, right? I love Tennessee in this game with 13.5. I love them with 13.5. If it goes higher, I love them more, obviously. If it drops, then I start to reconsider. But I know we once said the Jaguars can't blow out teams, blah, 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 and they blew out a team by like 100, right? I don't care. I like Tennessee in this game by 13.5. This is one of those games where they're up by 17, cruising. You know what I mean? Even if they let score one touchdown, like some fluke last minute touchdown, and they win by 10. 13.5 is too much. The 7.5 rule is in full effect of me this week. Taking the Jaguars, I'm taking the Titans. Sean.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville is also playing for that division, so they need to win. But are they going to win by 2 touchdowns? That's the big question. For me personally, I think they kind of blow their load going into, and that's a professional team. I want you to remember.
Well, like a truck. It's like a truck like a sand truck. It has to just drop everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah. So they're going to do it this game, Jacksonville, and then they're going to get blown out in the playoffs. Jacksonville, I think, has a lot of good things heading into next year. Congratulations, Jacksonville. Congratulations, Cumberland's finest. But I'm going with today, in honor of you, Cumberland's finest, Jacksonville.
All right. Matt, which side of the split you go?
You ever have 2 friends that are beefing and you're like, man, I really don't want to hear what these guys have to say about each other because I'm not picking a side. I'm not picking a side. I love the kitty cats, and I've been loving the Titans. I feel like I got some Titan blood in me. Like, they've been really doing me well lately. They've been fighting, and we've been on the Titans bandwagon. We've been tooting their horn. It's a lot of points. I think that there's going to be some scoreboard watching, and I do believe the Texans are going to get it done against Houston, which is going to make Jaguars relax. I think that sometimes, when you want to fight,
you know who he's picked yet? Have you figured it out?
Let me say, right, when you like what you have and you know your plan, but your best friend is rest. You need to get rest. I think that everybody's running towards the bed. And I think if you can look at the scoreboard, and you kind of already know, they know more than us. Not many do. But if you know that the Texans are going to complete the job against the Colts, I don't think you have to put your pedal. I don't think they give a shit about 2 touchdown spread.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Titans because I do believe that the Texans get it done against the Colts, which makes the Jaguars not have to push the gas.
That is completely possible. All right, so that is the split for the 1 o'clock games. Moving on to the 4s. I can't believe there's so many 4s. Crazy. All right, Sean, I'll start with you. The Miami Dolphins travels to New England. New England is favored by 13.5 at home. Who do you like?
It is. It's like a Duluth beauty pageant. There's 4s everywhere, and you know what? I forgot who you said the game.
Patriots and Dolphins.
Oh, my Patriots. What was the line? What do you got for the line right now?
13.5.
Yeah. The thing is, Patriots don't do well with big spreads so much. And the Dolphins really want to play for their coach. I hate to say it, everybody, but I'm going Miami on this one because I think Miami has some things they want to show off for the end of the season. They want to get prepared. They and the Pats actually have a pretty good rivalry. And here's another thing. The Patriots, it's been, I believe, 7 years since they've beaten the Dolphins twice in a season. So I'm taking the Dolphins in this game.
Yeah, they're always weird games, those two teams. That's historic. Matt, who do you like?
Well, I was in on the Patriots when they were opened at like 10.5, I believe it was, and it's only gone north. I believe in Quinn Ewers, the Texas graduate, coming out of high school, he was recruited as the best quarterback. He can sling the ball. He's had some not so good moments at Texas. He didn't fulfill his duties down there, which made him drop down to the 7th round pick. I don't think that is. I don't think that's bad. It's all about the road, and he's been sitting behind Tua. He's finally got a shot. He's going to come out here, and I don't like the chances. I look at it like this: Patriots, Drake May, Mike Vrabel, they've kind of been living it all year long, and it's not just the MVP consideration. It's everybody in that locker room from front to back means something. So they're going to go out there and they're going to try and conduct business as usual and go into this postseason as the same team as they always were, mindful of their business at hand. And I think right now on deck is the Miami Dolphins. Give me the Patriots all day. They're going to knock them silly.
Wow. All right. So you guys split on that. I'm going to side with the Miami Dolphins. Again, because 13.5, there are so many 13.5, 10.5, 14.5 spreads. They're all stupid. This is the last week for Vegas to make money.
Yep.
Seriously, it's the last week for Vegas to make money because people like us have beaten them on a 70% basis. So they got to put out gigantic, enormous spreads to make the money back. And
well, they're trying to protect. In a lot of aspects, they're trying to protect people from just pummeling on these teams. And so they're daring them. You know what I mean? They're like, come on, let's go. Let's see.
Let me tell you, the Patriots are not going to care about it being, like you said in the last game. If the Patriots are up by 10, they're not going to push to go up by more. They'll just run it like that.
The only reason is Mike is selling these Patriots, as you know, Denver's going to lose. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know, and they could. And the 1 seed is not up. It's up for grabs. So that's what we're going to conduct it as. That's what I believe he's going to do, and I believe they're going to come out guns blazing like this is a regular game, and there is a chance that Denver doesn't.
But I've watched over 40 years of Dolphins and Patriots, literally, and they're the weirdest games I've ever seen. It's when the Wildcats started. It's when all this shit goes down. It's when that flea flicker happened. When Gronk could make the thing. It's weird games, dude. They always play close.
I don't think Waddle's playing, King, and that takes away 5-6 grabs for 90 yards touchdown. I don't see where you get that. You're not going to get that from Malik Washington. Darren Waller is an old man, and he might have some grabs, but you got Devon Chain, and he's magnificent. But I think you're going to have a lot of gadgets for this young man.
No, I'm just telling you, the spread itself not saying they're gonna win this, but the spread itself is too ridiculous for me. It bothers me. It's too uniform in the sense that there's a lot of games with the same spread, so I don't trust it. So I gotta go. That's why I gotta go on my split. All right, if we're going to the next game, KC and the Raiders. The Raiders. Let's see. Here's the thing, Matt. I actually think the Raiders can beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs do stink. The Chiefs are just as bad right now as the Raiders. They are. And the Raiders have more weapons right now, I think. And I really think Andy Reid would drop this game. If he sees the Giants lose at 1 o'clock, oh boy, that changes this game. I'm being serious. Andy Reid knows that the Giants lost at 1 o'clock. Don't think Andy Reid, who coached the Eagles forever, doesn't know Mara or anybody in that organization, because he does. He knows people. May not have liked them, but I bet he got to know them. I bet he knows Mara pretty well. And he hates the Raiders. The Chiefs hate the Raiders. They would love to see the Raiders drop to where they can't get a quarterback. So I'm going with the Raiders.
So here we are. You know, we've been calling for another GOAT ever since even while the GOAT was playing, Tom Brady, and if you want to call him GOAT, if you don't want to call him GOAT. Ever since Tom was playing, you know, there was people who were calling Patty Mahomes baby GOAT. Now here he is holding his knee on the ground, and he is injured with the ACL and reminiscent of the days that were against KC with Tom Brady. How never even thought about it that it was KC that injured Tom Brady's knee until this moment. But the funny thing is I believe that Andy Reid in this moment is going, I'm going to be without my Patty Mahomes for a while. Now we have to reconvene and wonder how we're going to drive this Cadillac. So I think he's mindful of my wins on my all-time win list are now going to be cut because I have to fight for my wins a little bit harder now that Pat Mahomes is gone. And I think they transitioned into that unit already. And I think that this game that looks like it's an easy win for the Andy Reid and the Chiefs isn't so easy anymore, but he's going to do whatever he can to take that and put it in the bank because he wants that win. Give me the Chiefs.
All right, we split on that, Sean. You didn't miss anything. I picked the Raiders to win, and Matt picked the Chiefs.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think Oakland and you have it at 5.
Oakland, huh? It's,
No.
4.5. The Chiefs are here by.
No, the thing is, it's the Oakland Raiders. And Las Vegas, on the other hand, has no fight in them.
Yeah, no.
Las Vegas is out today for that number 1 spot. So you're going to see some bad football today. Some very bad football. And you would think the Chiefs game would be an exciting game, but no, this isn't going to be that. However, I do think in the end, the Chiefs pull it off. I think good coaching is what tells the difference. And you can say Pete Carroll, but look what Pete Carroll's doing this year. So therefore, I love the Raiders, but I got to go with the Chiefs.
All right, so we split on that. Some may say that I'm just being a wishful thinker, but I actually believe the Chiefs are that bad. And then I watched the Raiders last week, and they can stumble into a victory. You know what I mean? That team could stumble into victory.
But you know what happened? There's certain guys on your team that you can't take away. Max Crosby is fighting with the front office right now, and I think that kind of like is depressing because if you're watching all the Sunday NFL game shows, they're all talking about Max Crosby possibly going somewhere else next year. And I think that takes a lot of wind out of the sails of Las Vegas. I think they don't want to hear that, hey, one of our locker room leaders is going to be somewhere else next year.
Oh, that did not go over well.
No.
I'll give you that. That did not go over well. But If I'm the Raiders players, I'm playing like, you know what? They want us to lose for a fucking pick. Screw them. Let's beat the Chiefs. And
Yeah, it happens every year, but I think this is the year good coaching actually does it.
We'll see. I mean,
And like us, Andy Reid loves a nice spread.
All right. Matt, Detroit travels to the Bears. The Bears are favored by 4.5. Who do you like?
I love the Bears. I just don't think that the Detroit Lions. It's crazy because I've been ragging on Dan Campbell all year long, and now I can beat my chest and say rightfully so. This dude's a retard. Let's be serious. He's beating the shit out of that team, and I think it's hard to be around a dummy when you're like, dude, I would have probably done it like this. I am all for believing in my team. And it might be a little bit of added anger of all the teams. There's like a collective agreement on them just all going for it more. And I'm like, what's so wrong with just getting some points? And I don't know if it's Dan Campbell who started this, but he left a lot of points out on the board, on the field for this team. And he is a player, so he knows that these players, they break their bones and they get busted up for these points. Give me the Bears all day, and it's because there's definitely dissension at the top. I think it's time for Dan to go. Short-lived, great team, awesome to watch. Their time is gone.
Oh, that's pretty good. Sean?
Matt, you made a very passionate speech. I want to agree with you, but I think Detroit has a lot of pride. I don't think they win the game outright. I think they win it by the points, though. So I'm taking Detroit only because I think there's too much talent, and that's a big spread based on what you have on offense. They can keep it close. The Bears, on the other hand, Bears love it. Great job by the Bears. They're going to be there for many years, but I'm going Detroit today.
Let's think about how big this game is.
Yeah, it is.
Huge.
Huge.
And you got the old offensive coordinator looking at his old team going, "How you miss me? You miss me much?" Yeah.
But he got his revenge last game, though, didn't he?
Well, I think Caleb Williams is feeling himself. I think Johnson's feeling himself. I think the Bears are feeling themselves.
Yeah.
And I think right now the Lions are not. That's what I think.
I just checked back in and I heard that everybody's feeling themselves.
Yep.
I like the Bears in this game. The Bears are the better team.
Speed.
And they're going to prove it. DeAndre Swift is also my candidate for touchdown. He's got a lot of bad blood in that game. So if he can get in the end zone, they're going to let him. So I'm splitting with the Bears. All right. I'll go next on this one. The Jets travel to Buffalo. Buffalo is favored by 11. Let's see what I did here. Wait a minute. What are they favored by?
Can you repeat that? I was totally what?
I got to see this again. It's 12 now. Dude.
Who is it?
Listen, so the Buffalo Bills spread has gone from 8 to 11 to 12. How is that possible?
Well, you know what it is, King, is that Buffalo doesn't have much to play for. However, it would be any other team I would take besides the New York Football Jets.
All right, but Sean, here's what I'm trying to tell you guys, right? At 425, which have been so like at 1025, right?
Yeah, it moved.
I got the Bills at -8, right? Then when I wrote it down here, when the show started, the Bills were at I think 11, and now the Bills are at 12. They
Well,
went
because
from
Vegas thinks they can
12.
outprice the market, and they
But
can't.
in an hour, this happened in about an hour and a half. It went from
Yeah.
8 to 12.
I think that signifies that there was either a big injury or somebody took a large sum and said, I'm going against Brady Cook,
Yep.
and I'm going
The
to put a lot of money on the Bills.
Getting the Bills at 8 like I did is the reason I took the Bills. The Bills at 12 become a completely different game. So Sean, you go first because I mean now it's 12. I don't
Like I said, I really think Vegas is trying to outprice the market. I think there's been some high-powered bets that are going towards Buffalo smartly. And I think once they see the injury report and who's starting, so therefore, I'm taking Buffalo. Like I said, I would take any other team against Buffalo if it was a 12-point spread going in because Buffalo doesn't have much to play for. But it's the Jets, and the Jets they're terrible every last week. Every last week of the season, they don't show up. So I'm taking Buffalo.
Matt.
Not I. And this is the reason why. Josh Allen is going to come out there. He's going to get his streak snap, and he's going to go out there and take a snap so he can get his continuance of starts and blah blah blah. But I'm hearing that they're going to treat this as a preseason game. I don't believe that. Like I said, man, when you've got something bigger on the horizon, a new season, new job, you're going to rest your players. And I don't listen. You want to see Sean McDermott get fired? If he's got Josh Allen on the ground doing the Pat Mahomes, shaking on the ground, holding his knee, it's bye-bye. It's gone.
Yep.
See you later. So, you got to play for tomorrow. And I don't believe that. I was kind of eyeing the Jets at 8.5. I'm definitely eyeing them at 12. Give me the Jets.
But who's going to score for him besides Hall?
I think it's more along the lines of who's going to score for the Bills, and if it's going to run it out, shorten the game, those 12 points are really going to matter when no one's scoring.
So you're going to take the under on the game?
I think the only time I'm going to take an over in today's games are the games where they really doesn't matter. The games don't matter.
Yeah.
The defenses aren't playing because they don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
This is the craziness about the game that we're in. Like, a lot of these players, if they're not on the contract for you, why would I even want to play for you next year? What's the benefits of me losing my future? And that's truly where we're at. There's got to be incentive. So a lot of these players are going to be getting off the field, and it's under the understanding of they're not really for us anymore. The season's over.
By the way, isn't it awful that we're discussing non-football reasons for the game?
It's disgusting. Disgusting.
Like, we have to pay attention to non-football stuff to predict.
Week 18, baby.
Yeah.
But at 8, I took the Bills and ran. All right, next game. I'm trying to let you go. If this is an NFC East whisper classic, it's the commies traveling to the worst organization of any kind of sports that's ever been played. That organization, the Eagles, they're favored by 3.5 at home. Who do you like?
I think Philadelphia doesn't have much to play for today. They're not going to get the bye. I think they're going to rest their players. I think that's why the point spread's so low. And I'm going to take. I think Washington is playing for pride. I think they do have pride still. So I think Washington takes it.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I'm a big fan of the commies today because I don't believe at all that the Eagles. Look, the Eagles have proved in the past that they will sit Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah.
If they think there's nothing to play for. Like, just in any kind of quarter. They've proved that to me. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. So I can see them just going, we don't really care. It's not going to change where we stand in the standings. We're good. So I'm going with the commies. Matt?
Nick Sirianni said the other day we've been through it on both occasions now, and I'm going to go with my experience. He said, the year we lost Super Bowl, they continued to bring the guys out there as business, and they lost it. And he said the year that they won, they rested their players. They're resting their players today. We just seen the spread go from Philly giving 7.5 to basically a pick 'em. Washington wins. Take that to the bank. It's a lock.
You go see what we get for this.
It's a lock. 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 Lock.
That one was weird.
Lock, 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 lock.
To put the comments
Everybody.
Scream. All right. Cardinals traveled to the Rams. The Rams I had at 14. Matt, who do you like in this game?
I seen the spread move so significantly. I did not get a chance to investigate, but I'm on board with the Rams over the Cardinals because there's got to be something in significance to the point where the Rams need this, need it bad. Something changed last night with must have been the 49ers in the outcome of the 49ers Seahawks game. But I don't know, and I can't really say why I'm on board with the Rams and the line movement, but it moved from like 5.5, 6.5 to 14. I don't think Vegas is going to be wrong with that for some reason.
So you're going with?
I'm going with Rams.
The Rams. Sean.
Yeah, I hate to say that Matt took the words right out of my mouth, but he absolutely did. All that movement is for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but it's for a reason, so I'm taking the Rams.
And I'm going the opposite way.
Oh.
I think that movement is to make people believe that this is going to be a blowout. And if you really want the Rams that bad, you got to take them at 14. When in reality, the Rams only win by 6. That's what I think the spread is. I think the spread is trying to lure people out to the deep end. They keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You take them at 6? Oh, yeah. Will you take them at 8.5? You will? All right. 14. You can take them at 14, and people are taking them at 14, and Vegas is going, thank God, because they wanted to start at 6.
Yeah.
That's what this game and these spreads. So I apologize again, guys, but I got to split and go with the Cardinals. Like, just based on the 7.5 rule and the fact that this is the last week of the season, that I think that comes into play more than it ever would or ever should, because it is what it is. You know what I mean? All right, but we split on that. Just don't think the Rams bother to win by 14. You know, they could. They win by 40, but I don't think they're gonna bother. All right, last 4 o'clock game. Sean, Chargers travel to the Broncos. The Broncos are favored by 14.5. Who do you like?
All right. So Denver has something to play for. Chargers do not. They basically know their position in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you would think it would be Denver in a rout, 14.5, no blitz, but it's that 0.5, baby. You gotta watch the 0.5. And because of that, I think the coaching for the Chargers keeps him in it. I think he's proven, regardless of who's playing, next man up, the Chargers are going to be in the game. I'm going, go Chargers, go!
Oh, Chargers! All right, Matt, what do you got?
This isn't a knock against Bo Nix. I said I'm not going to get caught dissing Bo Nix or even, I'm not. I just can't talk shit about Bo Nix. He's done enough to win me over. He's not a loser in any meaning of the word. So what he is someone who's not going to overachieve, and he's going to play like he has been all season long. I think I've got a good understanding of who Bo Nix is, but there's not any times when I'm really sitting here going, the Denver Broncos are blowing teams out. They're always in the game, and I'm going to remain to see the Chargers with Trey Lance, who's showcasing himself, and I think I think if we can see over the last year or so, especially maybe underneath good tutelage now, or someone who can figure out how to use this guy, he's going to come in, he's going to showcase himself, and he's got a lot of good tools around him. Depending on who's playing, I'd have to do a little bit of research, but I like the Chargers. Just minus the position of Justin Herbert, who is a little banged up right now anyway. You get Trey Lance in there. You know, the quarterback position is just, it's very minuscule, the degrees of difference of these QBs. Even the Chargers with that many points all day. I think Denver could lose this game. So give me that.
I think it's funny that you guys are saying that. And then, Matt, you just brought upon what swayed me when I was looking at the games earlier. You're giving Trey Lance a chance, which rhymes on time, to showcase himself, to go out there. Like, by the way, I can still play in the NFL, right? Like, if I'm Trey Lance, every time they call a play, I'm switching to the pass. I'm audible out. I'm like, no, we're throwing this one.
You know what's great about this week? Joe Milton last year. I know how it feels to be in the situation you are, King. We didn't want the Patriots to lose the number one fucking pick, but they had a bunch of dummies together. What did dummies do together? Dumb shit. They've showcased Joe Milton. Joe Milton gets traded because he thinks he can possibly go unseat Dak Prescott. This has now opened the door to possibly seeing talent that you haven't really ever seen, which is pretty damn cool for multiple levels of viewership, potential trades, and movement.
Yeah, you want to showcase what you can move, trade it, or whatever, and see. You want to give Trey Lance a chance, even if he's becoming a free agent, to showcase himself.
He's earned it.
That's where they're at. So that officially makes that game. I think it's our fourth official. That was in Sweden. We've gotten on very big in Sweden. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna pack arenas to watch this on closed circuit.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, did you go to WrestleMania 3? Was it on closed circuit? Whatever one was where the Macho Man had to win the tournament to become the WWE champ. Do you guys remember that?
Number 4, yeah.
That was
4. It's 4. All right. Do you remember it was on closed circuit at the Civic Center?
Yeah.
Did anybody go to that? Because I did.
I remember watching it in closed circuit. Yes.
Me and Dave were in the Civic Center watching on this giant screen, and then I also right around that time saw Andrew Dice Clay when he first did his tour. Oh my god! Oh my god! You know what? If they could have collected everybody that was in attendance and got rid of us all,
the world would be a better place.
The world would be a better place.
Yep.
But I would be in that group. I'd be like, I'd do that. I'm going with Dice. All right. All right. So now we're only on to the last game because there's no Monday night game, right?
Correct.
No, Sunday.
Sunday is the last game.
All right, last game. Ravens favored by 3 going to the Steelers. Sean, who do you like?
Well, here's the thing. Baltimore, imagine if you could. Well, number one, Baltimore's a terrible place to live, but just falling back where you could play your worst football all year and still play for a division title. You know what I mean? All you have to do is really show up for one game. Imagine like that was your year. So, with that being said, easy peasy Japanesey. I think Baltimore surprises people. I think Baltimore wins it.
So I'm going with the Ravens. All right, Matt.
It's really difficult for this contest to be where it is because I think what it is, it's about 2 name brands. It's the division. It's the rugged slug 'em out. And I think it's a false advertisement. I think that Harbaugh and the organization that's the Baltimore Ravens are at odds with each other. And I believe Lamar Jackson is in transition. I believe they're fielding offers, seeing where he might be end up going, but I don't think that this collective party is going to be back together. And I think it's already showing that that party is over. So the Baltimore Ravens, like you said, have an opportunity at their hands. I think they win, but I think that it lays on the 3. I'll take Pittsburgh with getting the hook. But I do think, I think there's a chance that the Baltimore Ravens aren't what we think they are. And I think that Lamar Jackson is cashed out. And I think that, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he came in the season ill-minded or what, but I don't know how much he really cares. And I don't know if that Lamar Jackson is even there anymore. And I think that's the problem with the organization. I think they were hard on him. I think they were expecting things from him, and they never collected. And I think that if we're hoping that the Ravens come to fruition tonight, I think it's because it's the same thing that what the organization is dealing with. We see what he is. We want it to come to fruition, but I don't think it's gonna. I'll take Pittsburgh because I'll cover my own ass because I think Pittsburgh could win, but they absolutely cover the damn 3.5.
But can I say one thing that I keep on envisioning?
Yes.
Lamar Jackson on the Minnesota Vikings. That would destroy
I think
I think that would blow up the NFL.
I think he's in New York. I think he goes right to
He's
New York.
New York?
Yep.
That would be
Yeah,
crazy.
but if he goes to the Vikings, he doesn't even change color schemes.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
He might like purple, that guy. You don't know. You don't know him.
People.
You guys split. So I'm going to go on one side, obviously. By the way, this was the last game that I would want to pick. Like this game, I didn't like the spread. I don't like the spread. I don't like it. But if I had to pick a team, I'd have to pick the Ravens. I had it at 3 when I looked at it. I don't know what it is now. Yep, 3. I got to go with the Ravens at 3. I mean, I just got to go with the Ravens at 3. Like they should win this game by 3. So this is I'm going to go with it. All right, let me go over locks real quick. So
guys, I have to run. Good luck, everybody.
All right, Maddie.
Peace.
The Browns, Saints, Commies, and Chargers are our 4 locks of the week. Sean, do you have any parlays, anything like that you want to go over?
I think we covered it all during the show. Great year, everybody. Good luck. Listen to us, make money.
All right, let me just drop this on you really quick then, Sean. This is a 5-team parlay of teams on the money line. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to take the Chargers.
Okay.
All right. Take
yeah.
Dolphins.
Yep.
The Titans.
Okay.
The Browns.
Okay.
And the Packers.
Yeah.
$5 wins you how much?
Well, I'm gonna say 350.
33 grand.
What?
I should have ticket right here.
Holy moly!
Those 5 teams happen to win upsets and win outright. $5 gets.
Win outright. I'm sorry. I thought you meant with spread. Oh, win outright. Yeah, that makes more sense.
33 grand is a lot, but that's like a lottery ticket. Same as lottery, right?
Yep.
Then the Titans plus 13.5, Saints plus 3.5, Packers plus 10.5, Colts plus 10.5, Browns plus 7.5, Dolphins plus 12, Raiders plus 4.5, Bills minus 8, Eagles minus 4.5, and Cardinals plus 13.5. That's a 10-team parlay. $5 gets you.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
$3,400.
Woo! Love it.
Yeah, those are the bizarre things that I'm rolling with today. And the other one was this one. I don't even know if it's going to make sense. I got Bijan getting 2 touchdowns. Trevor throwing for 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Nico Collins getting 6 catches.
Wow.
That 5 gets you 150.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that. Get you 150. All right, dude. I think we did every episode this year, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We did. This is the first year we didn't miss anything, did we?
Yeah.
And last week
it was
we
good.
3.
Good season.
But
I got some bad news. I got
What's
some excitement happening outside my door, so I got to go.
All right. So for Captain God, for Mastradamus, it's me, Michael King, Mike Ellis. It was legit fantasy football. Thank you guys for this great season. We're out.